They called her a monster, a seductress, a murderer who dared to steal the dragon throne. But behind the legend lies something far more dangerous, a mind that reshaped an empire. In a world where women were silenced, one woman made China bow. This is the story of Wu Zetian, the concubine who became emperor. A tale of blood, betrayal, and brilliance, of a woman who turned manipulation into mastery and love into power. You're watching History Unsealed, where forgotten empires and untold truths rise again. Subscribe and join us as we uncover the secrets that shaped our world. Wu Zhao was born in 624 AD, the daughter of a merchant, not a noble. But even as a child, her tutors whispered that she was unlike other girls, intelligent, calculating, and unafraid to look men in the eyes. At 14, she entered the imperial court as a concubine to Emperor Taizong of the Tang Dynasty. The palace was a battlefield of beauty and betrayal, hundreds of women fighting for the emperor's gaze, each with spies, servants, and secrets. Wu watched, she learned. And when Taizong died, she vanished into a convent, her head shaved, her titles stripped. But she wasn't finished, she was waiting. Years later, Emperor Gaozong, Taizong's son, visited the temple. He found Wu Zhao again, no longer a girl, but a woman of intelligence and charm. She re-entered the palace, this time not as a forgotten concubine, but as the emperor's obsession. But there was a problem. The emperor already had a wife, Empress Wu, and a powerful rival, consort Xiao. Wu knew that to rise, she had to remove them both. And in one of the most chilling tales in Chinese court history, she did. When the emperor's newborn child died mysteriously, Wu accused Empress Wu of murder. The court erupted in horror, and the emperor, blinded by grief and love, executed his own empress. From that day on, Wu Zhao was no longer just a concubine, she was Empress Wu. As Empress, Wu ruled behind a curtain, speaking through the emperor, manipulating courtiers, silencing rivals. Her enemies disappeared, some poisoned, some found hanging notes confessing to crimes they never committed. But Wu wasn't cruel for cruelty's sake, she was strategic. She created one of the most efficient spy networks in ancient China, a shadow government loyal only to her. When Emperor Gaozong's health declined, she began issuing decrees in his name. For the first time in China's history, a woman was ruling an empire in all but title. When the emperor died, the court trembled. Ministers expected Wu to retire and fade into prayer, as tradition demanded. Instead, she declared herself regent for her son, then accused him of treason. He was deposed, then the next son and the next. Finally, in 690 AD, Wu did the unthinkable. She took the dragon throne for herself, proclaiming the birth of a new dynasty, the Zhou dynasty. The banners of Tang were lowered. The empress became Emperor Wu Zetian, the only woman in 3,000 years to rule China in her own name. Under her reign, China thrived, roads rebuilt, taxes lowered, scholars elevated by merit instead of birth. She reformed education, expanded the empire's borders, and filled her court with poets and philosophers. But power came at a cost. Wu's rule was shadowed by blood, purges, executions, and disappearances of those who dared whisper rebellion. To her supporters, she was a genius; to her enemies, a tyrant draped in silk. The court called her the Iron Lotus, delicate in appearance, deadly in resolve. She played generals, monks, and ministers like pieces on a chessboard, and she always won. In her final years, Wu grew frail. Her own court turned against her, the same ministers who had once bowed before her throne now whispered rebellion. At 80, she was forced to abdicate, carried from the dragon throne she had seized with blood and brilliance. A year later, she died alone, surrounded by silence. Her tomb bore no name, no title, just a stone tablet left blank, as if even history was afraid to speak her name. But time remembers what fear tried to erase. Wu Zetian ruled longer and more effectively than many emperors who came before her. She defied a world built by men and carved her name in the bones of China's empire. History may judge her harshly, but the truth is simple: she did what every emperor did. Only difference: she wore a crown the world said she couldn't. If you've enjoyed uncovering the hidden truths behind history's most dangerous rulers, Don't just watch, join the investigation.